morning, it's Devorah. It's InStory Live Thursday morning. And just gonna take a minute for people to get on, for me to share over into the InStory world, which if you're not part of InStory world, you're welcome to come on over and join. That's our free group. And so, my morning Facebook Lives are not curriculum. In fact, I've been having a lot of discussions about how the InStory Way, my whole year program, it doesn't have a curriculum. It has deep goals and focuses and processes and work that we do and vision, but it doesn't have a curriculum in the old-fashioned sense. And I compare it often to unschooling, the homeschooling movement called unschooling. And the reason I do that is because I believe that it is time for us to emanate from an inner drive, from our intuition. And we had a whole discussion in my group yesterday about how so many of us have been raised to follow the rules. And one of the main leadership people in my program now, who's joined me in my leadership team, talked about how, maybe even you're here, Kay, this is your wisdom, how when she joined, she was so used to following rules that she didn't know how to even participate. And now she has so much more light and vision and confidence in her essence, her own intuition, her own gifts and abilities, and how she can share them with others and how she can lead with them. And so it's kind of my passion to help us reconnect to our essential gifts. And I was thinking about that, like, what lights you up? What brings you joy? What nourishes your soul? Hi, Victoria. What makes you just feel expanded? That was one of the things I really like to talk about it as well, is what does it mean to start feeling more expanded? And I've spent some time, I use Jewish Torah metaphors and teachings all the time because that's who I am, my path, right? I always say, lead from who you are with your story. I used to call it lead in your lane. So my lane is always Jewish. I'm always sharing the wisdom that is the ground upon which I stand, because that's authentic to me, right? So what is the ground upon which you stand that's authentic to you? And lead from that deep, spiritually intuitive place. So that my intuition gets strengthened and filled up and connected to more and more wisdom the more I do my own spiritual learning. So when I say there's no curriculum in InStory, it doesn't mean we're not learning. It's just that it's not externally driven by a rigid format that has to be stuck to at all times. We reassess. Yay, Mary Stella, you found me live. Yay! It's so exciting. Mary Stella just joined InStory for the whole year. It's so exciting. And what you get when you watch my Facebook Lives is a little taste of just what does it mean to really tap into your soul and lead from that place. I call it living your soul story. Hi, Olga. And what does it mean to emanate from your intuition, to lead with your soul story? And I think that I talk about it so much because it's just been a part of the way our cultures have been all over the world, about holding us to some kind of external form rather than training us how to emanate from something more internal and essential, and then match up. Like, where's your starting point? So I talk a lot about how do you emanate from your soul? How do you emanate from your wisdom, your soul, your intuition, and then shape it to fit the world, rather than taking on the outer shape and fitting yourself to it? Like, form and delivery and connection and communication, those are all still important. But you can leave yourself completely behind if you focus only on pleasing others, which many of us were brilliant at in order to survive. I was one of them. And, I did one of my very, very, very long time ago, very first little tiny one-woman shows I did. It starts out with, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Like that, right? That shut down fine. That's not what we're aiming for here. We're aiming for a whole new level of fine. And one of the things that allows us to do that is to reconnect to that part of ourself that's always been there. One of the women I'm working with, I think I talked about this yesterday, said, she reflected and said, I have always lived my truth. but she hid it often. She often didn't lead with it so that other people knew. So that's what's being asked of us now, is to lead from that deep intuitive soul knowing, from that soul story essence that is who you are at your core. That's who you came into the world as. That's your soul. And so yes, in order to survive and grow and learn, our soul gets covered over with a lot of worldly gunk. But that's how we learn. And now you get to go back and tell your story, and your story holds your wisdom, like an incredible amount of wisdom in your story. So a lot of times I work with people to show them how your story contains your wisdom. And honestly, when people are trying to find their purpose, I say your story reveals your purpose. Your purpose is hidden in your story. And when you do this deep in-story work with me over time, what you see is, by the stories you remember, the images that you get, you become able to see your calling, to see your soul story, to put it into words, to feel the truth of it, and have somewhere safe to share it. Like, that's also part of it. We didn't have anybody to talk to where we could say what was really going on. You can post in the comments if that's you, if you had that feeling like you didn't have anybody to talk to. And now we can find each other. This is a big thing that's different now in our world because of the internet and the reach we have. You know, Maristella's here, she lives in Brazil, and Rita came in from Latvia, and somebody in England. We can find our tribe. Someone in Israel, like, it's, you know, Canada, America. I've had people in Australia and New Zealand. Like, we can find each other now, and then we can attract our tribe to us to lead with our wisdom. And eventually what we are working on, many of us, is becoming able to create businesses that pay us money for doing transformational, healing, inspirational work. And many of us have to walk through this old feeling that if I'm doing what I love and it brings me joy and it comes to me easily, I can't charge money for it. I'm not suffering enough. I think Rita was just recognizing that. She's just joined our group too. And I have talked about that so often. I remember that feeling like, well, if I'm doing what I love and it brings me joy, how can I charge money for it? And how can I charge real money for it? I have to suffer more. And so I have to get paid for the thing I don't do easily and I don't do well and that is hard for me and makes me miserable. That's what I should get paid for? Like, I don't think so. Let's change that. And commit to changing it. So part of changing it is what we are doing. We hire each other. We hire each other as coaches and mentors and healers and guides, and we pay each other real money, and we say we're worth it. I'm worth it to spend it on myself, and I'm worth it for you to pay it to me. But this takes some work to be able to shift and to elevate all that into this realm of deep integrity. And I think that's the difference. You know, we overcome these old archetypes of the salesman selling a lemon. That's not you. Or the guru gone bad. That's also not you. So you have to take those old stories out of you because that's not your story. Your story is one of integrity and heart and love and people you have saved and helped in so many deep ways, even when no one was paying you, because you didn't do it for that reason. But that doesn't mean you can't be paid or that you shouldn't be paid for the uplifting work that you do. Like, you are worth it, and so are the people you serve and help. And it's a worthiness issue, and we all got to work on it. It's just a thing. But you are worth it. And my point of view is that your story helps you do this. Your story shows you your greatness and your weakness and your struggle and how you got up out of your struggles. And it's a beautiful thing. So don't give up on yourself. Trust your story. Okay? And if you want to do more with that, then message me or leave a comment. That's what we do in my InStory Way Year group. And you can also pop on over to the InStory World, which is just a free group where we stay connected in a lighter kind of a way, not as focused as in the year. When you dive into a year committed coaching program, it's a big deal. Super fun, but it's a big deal. So today, notice what lights you up, what brings you joy, and ask yourself, are you living your soul story? Are you sharing your wisdom? Are you helping people and wishing you could charge money for it? Are you feeling stuck in the spin cycle? Any of those things, don't hang out there alone. Get support, me or somebody else, as the world needs us. I really believe that. So with that, I send you love and blessings and encourage you to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.